Hey, what's up, y'all? This is AJ.
This is Bryce.
And we are
No Filter Brothers.
And today, off the chest topic is coronavirus and mask wearing in schools. So we kind of are familiar with this topic because we work around schools. And so the CDC mandate that all students, staff, teachers, parents, whoever goes into a school, the CDC recommends that they wear a mask in the school building.
Now let's clarify recommend and mandate it.
Right. They can't mandate.
They're not mandating.
Yeah, they're not mandating.
So it's highly recommended.
And they recommend it to prevent the transmission of the Delta variant. So you wear a mask to keep those germs
to yourself. Yes.
And so you see where I'm going with this. Why some parents would not want their kids to keep it to themselves, or other kids who got it keep it to themselves. I don't get it.
Well,
why parents are choosing not to let their kids wear masks in school.
I think majority of the people who are on that bandwagon are Trump supporters.
Could be.
And since it was misled from our previous president, they're still believing what he said. So you have that aspect going on. You have people who will say they don't want to get vaccinated because of religious views, which is fine. Health reasons, which is fine. But wearing a mask is totally different.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of weird because it's just helping the community in itself. So it's kind of like, just in case you may have something, you keep it to yourself. You're not spreading it.
I would think that these Trumpites would believe that if someone has it, you keep it to yourself. I figured they would go for that.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of them don't even believe that it exists.
Oh, that's true. Until they got it. And then when they got it, they started changing their stories.
Well, some of them got to change their stories. Some of them passed away.
Facts.
So
they are dead to never doubt
Speak again.
Coronavirus again.
Right.
How smart was that?
Well, in their opinion, they thought it was very smart until they were in the hospital and couldn't breathe and couldn't call Trump.
Well, a lot of those Trumpites also got the vaccine. So anyway.
And that's the scary part is that a lot of people who are protesting about this actually have gotten the vaccination,
right,
and won't tell people. So
you can't have it both ways. But anyway, I think kids should wear their mask in school. I follow the CDC recommendations. I think kids and adults, anybody who comes into the school building should have a mask.
Now, the tricky part about it is how do you keep kids in a mask because they constantly take it off. Now,
right, and depending on the age, that is true. But you just have to do your best. But a parent shouldn't be able to sit at home and say, my kid that's coming to this public institution is not going to wear a mask. No, I don't think parents should have that right.
Well, I believe that. I believe that's a true and accurate statement. Now, if you look at it from a standpoint of looking at kids possibly getting vaccinated around the end of October, early November, and kids have to have certain vaccinations to go to school.
Anyway.
So this is just another one that's being added to the list. Right now, I think there's probably about 7 or 8 that actually are mandated that you have to have before you can go to school. They're just going to add this to the list, I would assume, once they get the approval. So you're going to have that whole group of parents in an uproar over that now.
But, some parents choose not to vaccinate at all.
True.
And they run the risk of getting chickenpox, mumps, measles, rubella, all of that stuff. So it's strange that parents are at school board meetings yelling, cussing, threatening officials that their kids shouldn't wear a mask.
All over the fact that the parents are refusing to keep kids safe. Now, the other hand is how many parents are up there protesting when these kids are up there bringing in guns to school? So, you have to look at where we are right now. We're in 2021. Things have changed. Schools are different.
Very different.
People are different. And I keep calling it's all part of going through the whole shutdown of COVID. That a lot of people they're non-social.
Well, look, here's my thing. If you don't want your kid to wear a mask, keep them home.
Well, that's true.
That's all.
Homeschool them.
Homeschool them in your safe home where you don't have to think about COVID. But if you want to send them to a public institution who is receiving federal funds, then they need to wear a mask like the CDC recommends. And the CDC is not the legislative branch. They just recommend it for health. But there's doctors who study this virus and they recommend that you wear a mask.
Right.
Parents, I don't know how many of y'all have a degree in, vaccines and stuff like this, but you don't have a degree in it, most of you, but you are making the judgment that it's safe. Well, and it's really not.
It's an uneducated decision.
Ignorant.
Well, yes, because ignorant is bliss.
And then you decide to go to school board, cuss people out.
Exactly. When you see that, then you know the type of parent you're dealing with.
And that's what I'm talking about.
It's ridiculous to see parents
I saw a clip where a bunch of people stood outside one of the school board members' house.
Yes.
And disrupted her house, her peace, her private property. And one of those idiots had a mask on.
Right.
So
now,
it's like...
Just like you saw, I saw it on the news the other day where you had this lady yelling at another parent while she was picking up her child, talking about she's child abuse because her child had a mask on. I don't understand the viewpoint of why you feel like you have the right to sit there and harass another parent with a child in their hand. That's scary to the child. So you're an endangerment to the well-being of that child. Like, they don't know what's going on. You're just yelling at their parent.
I mean, the Delta variant is going around. It's spreading. It seems like it's going to get worse because flu season is coming up upon us.
Flu season's here.
And so you're saying you don't want your kid to wear a mask, and if they get it, then what?
Well, it's going to be quite interesting to see how the uptick with flu season and COVID at the same time, with everyone back in school all across the country. What's going to be the look of that? Are they going to start closing schools down because they don't know the difference between the flu and COVID? And, because the symptoms are very similar.
Right.
So, I'm going to have a lot of testing.
I mean, I think we definitely need a plan for it. The president needs to come up with a universal plan. And maybe we take the month of January off and stay at home and quarantine. I mean, I'm just saying, this is a possible
suggestion. Okay.
That we take the month of January and stay home and quarantine until February and then come back. What do you think about that?
Well, it depends on when the uptick actually hits. So if you're saying January, I mean, you take your holiday break and you just come back in after Martin Luther King?
That's what I'm saying. When you're home, you're exposed to more people in your family.
Exactly.
And more people come to see you.
True.
You travel different places. Take the month of January and get that all out quarantine. If you got it, keep it to yourself and don't bring it to school, and then come to school in February.
Well, it would be a ideal plan because you're isolating everybody again, which means it can't spread.
Exactly. But here's my thing. Parents, stop being ignorant, going to school board meetings and raising hell, and your kids see you on TV yelling and screaming.
Raising hell about a mask, but don't raise hell about grades.
Or what their kids are learning.
What their kids are learning, what the kids are wearing, what they're doing on their social media. Right. They're not raising hell about that.
Or if they got phones, not phones, play games, you got other stuff to worry about.
They don't raise hell when they don't have their kids go to bed and they're playing Fortnite all night.
Right. So parents, fight about the right things. This is stupid. The mask mandate is stupid. Y'all, this is AJ.
This is Bryce.
And we are Filter
No Filter Brothers.
What's up, y'all? This is AJ.
This is Bryce.
And we are Filter
No Filter Brothers.
You can find us on multiple platforms, including YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And our email is filternofilterbrothers@gmail.com.
Our new phone number is 513-453-7733. Check us out.